Hello everybody, I'm 8-Bit Steve, and this is another 8-Bit episode of Steve's Quest. This is game number 163, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter. I had never played this game before until I started beating it. I remember it coming out really late when the Super Nintendo was already out, so I didn't really play this game much. It's a pretty decent fighting game for the NES. I think they really got the maximum amount out of the NES's power with this one. I'm going to play as Donatello because he's my favorite Ninja Turtle. And we're just going to use a little trick here where you just you dash at him and you can throw him. Throw is super strong in this game. It only takes 4 or 5 throws to kill your opponent. And it's really easy to trick the computer into a pattern where you can keep throwing them. Unfortunately, I'm getting my butt whipped by Leo here, but not to worry. There we go. Now, when later in the game, I'm going to switch to Leonardo. I should have started this run as Leonardo, and there's a reason for that. The reason is that it's really easy to beat Shredder with Leonardo, because Leonardo has a special move where he does like a slide kick, sort of like Sub-Zero. Now, each turtle has their own special move, and Donatello's is pretty useless. It just he flips up into the air into a ball. It does a lot of damage, but it's hard to hit with, and it's just kind of awkward. Whereas Leonardo's is a direct slide kick right towards your opponent. Shredder has a couple of moves that are really difficult to deal with. Mostly they're moves that attack on standing up. So if we slide underneath those moves, we can throw him pretty easily and beat him. Now, here's Raph. Raph's one of the hardest turtles to fight because he's really good at throwing, so it's a little bit tricky. Anyways, I have explored doing a world record of this game because it's pretty short and it would take not that much time to get the record. I would estimate probably a couple months playing every day, but maybe even quicker than that, honestly. That's a really high estimate. But the big problem with the game is that in order to get it, the categories for the game are basically on turbo speed. The speed I'm playing on right now is normal, which is what the game is generally set on, is normal. You have to turn it on to turbo speed and hard difficulty in order to get a world record in this game. At least they don't have a category for the slower speeds. So I could either create a new category, which seems silly, or I can play at the higher speed. Now the problem with the higher speed is that the computer is much more aggressive than you are at throwing on the turbo speed, which is why one of the categories is actually a turbo controller category. It's fastest speed, hardest difficulty turbo controller, because you need to be able to throw. So basically, you just dash towards the enemies and hold the turbo B down and throw. So I could get the world record in that category, but I don't feel right using a turbo controller. I guess maybe I'm spoiled by Speed Demos Archive. I don't feel right using a turbo controller to get a world record. So I'm kind of in flux on whether I want to actually world record this game or not. But it's on the list right now, and I have put time into it, so that might tell you something, I guess. Alright, we're just going to beat up Mike here. He's the easiest of the turtles to kill. So that's like a Splinter robot or something. I'm not really sure. Somehow Splinter is an LCD screen, and he drops this little red ball, and you can pick it up. And if you pick it up, it gives you a special move where you kind of throw it at your opponent like a charged up power attack. And every character can use that power attack. Now, something else that's interesting is you saw at the main screen when I could select characters that I could only select the 4 turtles, but in the fact for this game, it shows the move list for Casey Jones and Shredder, and so I'm guessing there's a way to be able to play those characters. Another character in this game is Hothead, which we're going to fight, but I don't think you can actually play as him because his move list was not there. So yeah, back to the speedrunning thing. There's a lot of variance in this game. As far as in-game clock and real time. For example, the very first, you have to play as Leonardo to do the speedrun, in my opinion. He's the only viable option to get the fastest time. If you play as Leonardo, you'll fight Raph first, and Raph is just brutal to face. So my time variances on him were 30 to 40 seconds of variance. So I would beat the world record time on Raph by like 10 seconds, and then sometimes I'd be 20 to 25 seconds over that time. So it's a huge variance. And it really didn't have a whole lot to do with what I was doing. It was more just what pattern Raph was going to give me. So a lot of it's, as with most world records, it's just going to be playing it enough times to get good RNG, and then post a run. So I can get this bonus stage completed with 13 seconds on the in-game clock, which is 3 seconds faster than the current world record as far as in-game clock is concerned. But right now I'm just trying different methods to see which things do the most damage. Alright, here's Casey Jones. When I was a kid, Casey Jones was one of my favorite characters because he was human and he had a hockey mask on, and I was a big fan of Friday the 13th, so it just seemed like a really cool character. But as I got a little older, I realized that he's kind of a lame character. He doesn't really do much. Most of the time he gets beat up, and he's not really pivotal to the story at all. He's just some random dude. So I don't really like him. And most of the cartoon iterations too, he's just pretty useless. Doesn't do a whole lot. Took him out pretty easily there, though. So after I release this one, I'm going to be doing Rygar next. That should be released today. It's about 3 o'clock here. This is only like a 15-minute video, so I'm gonna do this, encode it while I unpack from work, and then once it's encoded, I'll start uploading it and recording the commentary for Rygar. Then I have 2 other games to upload, which are Muscle, which is a weird wrestling game, and I also have Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu, which I recorded yesterday. So I want to get all the commentary and video files made for those today. If I get all those done today, which shouldn't be a problem, I'll start working on Solar Jetman. So hopefully I'll have that finished tonight if everything goes well. If not, I'll have it finished tomorrow, and I can start recording the commentary with Brad and move on to the next game. So Hothead is really susceptible to this dash throw strategy if you time it correctly. But he takes 1 extra throw compared to most of the characters to kill. And that's a flat 50 in-game clock, so that's really fast. I have beat him on a 51 before, so that's pretty close to perfect on that. But again, I'm on the slower speed, so it's tough. I don't really remember Hothead from the show. He must have been a character added late after I stopped watching. I remember I thought it was Leatherhead, which was the alligator / crocodile guy or whatever. But yeah, there's Hothead. All right, moving on to Shredder. Give you a little cutscene here where he tells you that you may have beaten me in the past, but now it is you who shall taste defeat. Typical Shredder nonsense. So this is how Shredder beats the crap out of you if you don't have Leonardo. So he's just constantly attacking here, and if I get close to him, he's going to start doing this punch move, that move, and it just beats the crap out of you and wrecks you. Then he just throws that thing on the ground. He took almost all my life with that one sequence of punches there. I haven't even really hit him at all. Just it's not really an issue of his damage or his moves. It's the fact that you can't get close to him. You need to be able to get close to him to effectively fight him. And all of his moves are anti close quarters combat. That's why Leonardo is so effective against him, because you can just dash slide twice and he'll block, and you'll be basically right next to him. Now, one strategy is to jump over Shredder to throw him from behind, which I have used before, but not very effective in this particular run, but I have killed him like that with Donatello before. But it's just so much slower than Leonardo for speedrunning, so it's pretty much a useless strategy. Ha! I expected a tougher opponent. Can no one challenge me? Well, Leonardo can, and we're going to do it right now. We're going to continue. And we're going to pick Leonardo. Unfortunately, we got to go through the same cutscene again, where he tells you that you may have beaten him in the past, blah blah blah. And you're going to see how vastly different this fight is with Leonardo than it is with any other turtle, really. So I can get right next to him and throw him. Just like that. And when I see that little hit block right there, I know I'm right next to him and I can just get that throw in there. That's a 46 shredder, that's pretty good. A slightly faster strategy is to, instead of double sliding, is to dash towards him and then slide at a specific time, so that way you hit him right when he gets up. So it takes much more precision and timing, but it does save like a second every time you do that. I don't think I'm going to do it here. I'm just going to play it safe, and oh, I did the dash. See, that's a little bit faster when you do it like that. And executing it pretty well here. Oh. Hit the wrong button there. He should have been dead. That was probably a 49 or maybe a 50 in-game clock kill that I messed up. Alright guys, so that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter. Here is the ending for Leonardo. I believe it's the same for all the turtles. It just shows a different turtle color at the end. But enjoy the ending. I'll see you guys for the next 3 games that I talked about earlier, and thanks for watching.